Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look again at Near Protocol. We're going to look at this ascending trend line and how that broke. Basically, we're down below the 20-day SMA now and what that means for us here. So if you are new to the channel, I would recommend you hit the like button just so we can get this in front of more people, or more so just ask that as a courtesy. And then obviously, I would recommend you check out a few resources here. Of course, we've got a new exclusive offer with Bitunix, link down below for this this knowledge. But there's a solid amount of deposit reward bonus. You use my link to register. And if you previously did, of course, anyone who has, you're automatically eligible for this. Make sure you take advantage of that offer. Other than that, too, I would just say, hey, I've got a Trading Academy community and signals group. We got a lot of new members coming over. There is a limited slots available, just as a heads up. But I can tell you, though, that a lot of my graduates are moving on to do this full time. It's a lot of fun. We basically just use low leverage, low position size. And with my trade signals, you can follow those if you like, or just get better knowledge on how I structure my trades after having traded about 20 plus years in the traditional and crypto markets. So when we take a look at high block capital here, we can see liquidation levels for Near Protocol are below the price. This really just implies there's a lot more long positions than short positions, but also implies that there's a lot of risk involved too, because there is manipulation involved in any type of trading with leverage. Okay. The whales know a lot of people are hedged, and a lot of people are taking longs at the $7 mark. So that could be the next target. Just be mindful of that. A lot of times you see those lower level liquidity swept and the price action returns as if it never happened. Okay, so just some friendly advice. High levels or concentration liquidation does imply the price action can move towards that. It doesn't have to be fast too, by the way. Most of the reason why it happens is there's a ton of little small limit orders that take place with people that have unlimited accounts, basically, and they just keep driving the price in whatever direction they want. And then as soon as it hits their target, they turn it around. It's almost always at liquidation levels. Okay, so daily time frame, where are we at? Well, again, we lost this ascending trend line. We're now establishing a descending trend. I'll create a trend line later and post that on my Twitter, TikTok, Telegram, Discord. I provide playout charts in case you guys aren't familiar, and those are available consistently online. All that's linked down below, but I'm mentioning that I'll update that later just so you'll recognize. But if we do look at the bigger picture, this is ever since roughly beginning of March. So that's 2.5, 3 months worth of trading. We can see $7 is the heaviest concentration of liquidity. That's where the most amount of volume is. What do you know? Also a liquidation range. Okay, so again, it's really, really common for that level to be attracted to, but we can also reference that as a support level. It's concurrent with the 50-day SMA. We are also below 50 on the RSI, not a favorable sign. However, consolation, however you want to look at it, awesome to be able to see stochastic RSI swinging up. It does mean that we're due for somewhat of a correction here, and we might be bottoming out soon. I think that's very likely considering everything we've seen here so far. We do look at the 4-hour time frame. We can recognize that volume is fairly low in the overall sense, which isn't great. We can see money flow index is higher, which implies that people are buying more of this at this lower price point. Big surprise, it's a better value now, right? Same thing here as well with stochastic RSI. It's kind of pinching there at 50 with the RSI itself. So truth is, this isn't really very indicative at all of what's going to happen next, but it does kind of show us and tell us that, hey, we're in a position right now where we're probably testing and or likely to break this descending trend line here soon. Okay, now this isn't a perfect trend line. All trend lines are imperfect, but they run concurrent with a lot of moving averages, specifically the 50 and the 4-hour. So I pay attention to that until we're back up over the 50 and the 4-hour, or at the very least above the cloud and or the most recent point of control, which we'll look at our TPO here in a minute to find out. We are not out of the woods completely, but we're holding above the 20-day SMA on the 4-hour. That's a good shift, but it's not perfect. Okay, so there's more bearish signs on both the daily and the 4-hour that are just telling us that further downside would make sense. We shouldn't be surprised if that were to occur. Okay, so again, just some kind of things to think about. Now the hourly time frame. Let's wrap this up here with Ichimoku Cloud and TPO. First things first, the cloud. We want to reference that we're not above it yet. A lot of coins are really close to being above, but we see it running fairly concurrent with this descending trend, implying basically a closure above that level is much more important than it is now. Same thing as well with conversion line, baseline, lagging span. Those are kind of stuck and muddled within the price action. When you see that, that is not a good sign for confirmation. You don't take a trade leading into that. It's kind of like you're gonna run a higher risk driving at night to get pulled over than you are during the day, right? Statisticals, probabilities work out either in your favor or not, right? So in this case, it's a statistical probability the price action isn't going to go up until we break free from that range, and it makes less sense to take a trade. Last thing I want to look at is the TPO here. This is a newer feature for TradingView, and it basically just kind of gives us perspective on the most recent 24-hour period. Where's the most active point of control? Where's the most amount of volume? Well, we can see that about $7.30. Price action is just barely above that. So I'd say closure at the very least today at 7:30 or higher is extremely important. That would give us some confirmation. But the best confirming tool for me personally is to close above the cloud, which we can see here again. I've referenced this previously, and or the descending trend line. So me, to be safe, which I typically am, I like to see a candlestick closure above this lower fib level is 0.236 at 740 or higher. That would be the confirmation I'm looking for, because we would have established ourselves above this most recent high, and we'd be close to testing our recent high. While it wouldn't be a perfect situation, we'd likely be over 50 on the RSI on the 4-hour, and we'd have other confirming factors leading into it. Those are things I like to look for. So I hope this made sense and I described that correctly. I know there's a lot. You probably have to slow down the speed too, because sometimes I get a little excited about this. I apologize, but it's just the way it goes. I love teaching people how to trade, okay? So if you want that for yourself, again, join me over on Twitter, Telegram, Discord. You can see our results for last month. We had 100% efficiency for our trades. Those are swing trades. I also include day trades that are automated. If you take a look at my YouTube, I have shorts now as well. Same thing available over on TikTok. So pick your poison, whatever works best for you, or at the very least, educate yourself over here on our Discord too and get to know the group. Got a great group of traders. Thanks again, folks. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you the next one.